The Washington Post this weekend front paged a story about what they called the, quote, turbulent phase that Trump's campaign has entered into for this last 6 weeks of the campaign. They've described Trump's behavior in the campaign right now as, quote, impulsive and impetuous. The Post noted in its story, quote, in a single 24-hour span at the end of last month, for example, Trump amplified a crude joke about Vice President Harris performing a sex act. He falsely accused her of staging a coup against President Biden. He promoted tributes to the QAnon conspiracy theory. He hawked digital trading cards. He became embroiled in a public feud with staff and officials at Arlington National Cemetery, all in 24 hours. And that is true. The Post goes on to describe gently, I think, what they call Trump's, quote, policy incoherence at this point in his campaign as well. And to be clear, along with the sort of just erratic behavior and outrageous behavior, the policy coherence really is off the charts, right? I mean, there's inexplicably high levels of interest and appetite in the mainstream press for reporting on Kamala Harris and Donald Trump as if they are similar kinds of cats, right? As if they are normal competing candidates that we can assess using the same kind of terms. But they're not the same kind of cats, right? They are not the same kind of candidates. They are not doing the same kinds of things. For example, like here's Kamala Harris getting the endorsement of 700 retired military and national security officials, while here's Trump promising that if he's president, he's going to find where California is hiding its huge secret faucet that they use to dump all the rainwater into the ocean. And if he's president, he's going to find the handle on the gigantic faucet and turn it the other way. It takes a whole day to turn the handle, he says. So problem solved. Everybody will have all the water that they want. Okay, well, here's Kamala Harris promising a child tax credit and saying how she'd pay for it. Here, on the other hand, is Donald Trump saying he's going to abolish the Department of the Interior for some reason. Nobody even bothered asking him why. Why do you want to abolish the Department of the Interior? Here's Trump saying he wants to take away the broadcast licenses of news organizations that criticize him. Here's Trump saying he wants to put former President Barack Obama in front of a military tribunal. But Harris does want a child tax credit. Yet one of these things is not like the other. I mean, even if you go to the less outrageous stuff, I mean, Republicans in the House of Representatives just ignored Trump's demand to shut down the government before the election. They are going ahead with funding the government against his wishes. They are not going to bring about a government shutdown, even though he demanded one. That insult and rebuke to the Republican Party's leader would have led the news for days if this was a candidate who attracted normal political coverage. But instead, while Trump instead races toward Election Day, rolling out a new scam, some new money-making effort to squeeze money out of his fans almost every day. I mean, this alone is completely bizarre. Imagine Kamala Harris doing anything like this. But every day, there's the new Trump commemorative coin that he is selling to his supporters. This comes hot on the heels of Trump's new cryptocurrency venture, which he has rolled out with the help of a man who literally calls himself, quote, the dirtbag of the internet, and another man who is a self-proclaimed pickup artist. Here's the candidate's wife launching her own book this week, hot on the heels of the news that the majority of her campaign appearances this whole election cycle were ones for which she was personally paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here's his daughter-in-law, who he installed as the chair of the National Republican Party, nevertheless finding time in the home stretch of the campaign to drop a new single for her side hustle where she's a singer. None of these things, from the commemorative coin to the single, none of these things are raising money for the Trump campaign or the Republican Party. They're all just personal money-making gigs for him and his family that they are launching at the height of the campaign. Imagine if Kamala Harris was like rolling out a mortgage scam and some commemorative trinkets right now. Not for the campaign, but just to like get her and Doug some money. Trump, brought a 9/11 truther to the 9/11 commemoration on 9/11. And his staff really did shove an Arlington cemetery worker when she tried to stop them filming thumbs up, big grin campaign videos at grave sites. And no, apparently he's not got any sort of problem with the North Carolina Republican candidate for governor, who he endorsed and who he has celebrated as a candidate. No problem at all. Not even after the reporting that the man literally calls himself a Nazi, praises Hitler, praises Mein Kampf, wants to take away women's right to vote, and wants to bring back slavery because, according to him, slavery was good. Imagine being a world leader from some other country, coming to New York for the United Nations this week, coming to the United States of America, fully briefed and cognizant that a presidential nominee in this country, in that situation, who can't even criticize or distance himself from a candidate who has said those things, a presidential nominee of one of the major parties has got essentially even odds right now of being elected president of the United States. President of the United States of America.